Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of What's Next? Kind of a video series where we're talking to smart people about the future in business during these crazy times. And part of business is networking, and part of networking is LinkedIn. And the most experienced expert guy I know is Ted Prodromou. Ted.
Hey, good to see you.
I appreciate you taking the time. Ted Prodromou is a LinkedIn expert. He has written 3 books on how to use LinkedIn for business. He operates a coaching practice, yourlinkedincoach.com, and he is an all-around knowledgeable guy about social, about online, and most importantly, about LinkedIn. And what can we do now, man? Let's just cut right to it.
We got to pivot, right? Everybody said you got to pivot.
God, if I hear the word pivot one more time, I'm going to stab somebody. You don't have to pivot, people. It's not the end of the world. It is the beginning of the world. It is a pause in the world. We're getting back to it.
People are pivoting to things that they don't really know much about, and they're charging people for their services. Oh, well.
The gurufication of a segment of American business is a nightmare. So before you pivot, or before you listen to somebody who's going to pivot, Ted, tell me a couple of things about what I can be doing, what we all can be doing in our business using LinkedIn and other strategies as we look forward into the future, as we move forward into the future. What's good to do?
Well, before this crisis hit, LinkedIn was growing at 30% per quarter for the last 3 years since Microsoft bought them. And engagement was up like 25 to 30% per quarter. Since this crisis hit, it's gone up another 40%. So LinkedIn engagement is up like 70% over it was a year ago. So people are on LinkedIn. They're all flocking to LinkedIn, and they're like, what do I do? Some people are looking for jobs. Other people are reconnecting with people.
Right, because we're in a time now where we're not really hardcore selling. I mean, come on, let's get real about that. Yes, sales have to still happen. People are still buying things. People are still selling things. But hello, I'd like to make a cold call is not going on. But community seems to be going on more and more. I've talked to more old clients, old friends in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 10 years. And LinkedIn's a great way to reconnect and new connect, yeah?
Yeah, just a simple message. Hey, how you doing? You okay? Anything you need? Just a short message to people, and you're back on their radar.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, we have a couple of years. Let's talk. And then, hey, you have a phone conversation. What a concept.
Right. Which allows you to kind of, I just feel it's really important for folks to stay in the game. I have really struggled with this shutdown stuff because I'm, kind of isolated anyway, but the doom and gloom stuff, oh my God. Like I just talked to a friend who said, you need to have boundaries starting with your TV should not be on during the workday blaring terrible news from CNN. Good point. So on LinkedIn right now,
fill in the blank, right? You shouldn't be filling your head with that stuff.
Yeah. And nor should you be on Facebook arguing with idiots. Guilty, right. Working on it. But on LinkedIn, it's a whole different world. Really, people are I found so far, pretty respectful. It stays in their lane. We're here to talk about business, not conspiracy or politics. So what are a couple of things that I can be doing? I have old contacts I haven't been in contact with. I have also new opportunities that I'd like to reach out. Maybe people are more open to new invitations or open to reading a message, but I also don't really know, we don't really know. I get hello messages that are everything from like, hey, Mike, how you doing? To, hello, let me give you 40 paragraphs of my business. And I give people kind of the basics to start out, would you?
I just try to start little casual conversations. I didn't talk about business. I ask them silly things like, tell me something I wouldn't know from your LinkedIn profile. Like, hey, I played hockey with Wayne Gretzky. Stuff like that.
Tell me something I don't know about you from just reading your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
The best conversation starter anywhere ever, because why? It's focused on them.
Right.
It's about something personal. What's something that you don't know about them that they're going to tell you? Something they're prideful about, a moment that felt good. So, wow, genius. I mean, I just thought of something when you asked that, and that feels good.
It
So
lowers their guard because everybody's pitching on LinkedIn trying to sell you something.
right.
It's like, hey, you lower that guard and have a real conversation with a human being. It's like, wow.
Yeah. So that changes the energy a little bit from Ted selling Mike to Ted talking to Mike, Mike being interested, curious. I wonder what Ted sells. I mean, I think it's a very fair way to, especially for folks like us who are run coaching heavy businesses where we're trying to get people to take a step up and do different, better things in their businesses. I think it's certainly okay, and I've seen you do this 1,000 times, to give some advice, help people out. If you don't have there's two types of networking, right? Hand up, which is, let me see what I can do to help you, and hand out, which is, here's what I need. Who do you know that might need my services? What you're saying is connect, have a casual, real life, regular conversation, like real people who meet and might have something in common.
That's what I tell all my students and clients. Pretend you're having a cup of coffee with that person at Starbucks. Back in those days when we actually go to Starbucks and have a cup of coffee.
And shook hands with people. Hello, nice to see you.
Right, give it a big hug.
Yeah. Man, what's the point of living in Northern California? You can't give out the hugs all day long. I didn't even think of that. No,
I actually have people, when I'm coaching them, I say, okay, read that message to me out loud that you just sent to that person. And they read it like, oh my God, I would never say that in real life. Like, well, why would you make up something different that you type in as opposed to what you would say?
Good point. So I'm noticing that the people I actually have more than a cursory tennis match with, hello, are the people who ask a question, have something to say, have noticed. So it's worth spending a few minutes thinking about what you're going to say before you say it, is what you're telling me.
I just got an email from another LinkedIn coach last week. He said, my conversion rate has tripled since I started actually customizing the message instead of just blasting templated messages. Oh, wow, what a concept.
Which, by the way, I don't know who it is, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say you learned this information because you were blasted by a templated message. I have talked to a number of people who are actively involved in the world of selling and marketing, because that's what I do. And it seems to me that the idea of deeper relationships in a tighter circle moving forward might be a real part of our success. What do you see?
That's where I'm going. Back to the old days. Remember we had the old Rolodex was our life?
Somewhere.
I'd rather have like 100 really good connections than I have 22,000 LinkedIn connections now. I connected with way too many people in the past couple of years.
Right. I actually was hired. It's funny you mentioned that. I was a big Rolodex guy. I mean, I'm an ad sales guy in the radio business, and I had one of the big ones, the kind that laid flat. I love those things. I can't imagine I've thrown them away somewhere, and they're in the house in a box. But I had one of the big ones with all these, I think I probably had 2 of them even. And the owner of a competing radio station was over at our station doing something, like it just happens. Came into my office to say hello because we were friendly competitors. And he saw those Rolodexes on my desk. And 2 days later, he invited me to lunch. And he made me a job offer on the spot, which was a lot of money. I didn't take it, but which was a very, very good job offer because of the Rolodexes. He said, shit, if you know that many people, you're a good salesperson, ought to be pretty easy. So.
He just wanted your Rolodex. No.
Yeah, it's typical. But the point is I now have 100 times the number of connections that I do not know, who would not know me. So what good are they? I remember attending one of your workshops and you said, I'm getting rid of people off my LinkedIn. It seems the whole world just wants those numbers. How many contacts you got? Ooh, 5,000. Ooh, 30,000. Ooh. And you're doing the opposite. How come? Why is that?
I was accepting people, marketers are inviting probably 20 to 30 invitations a day from marketers. Like, well, I was connecting with marketers, but we never seem to do business together. They kind of just want to get into my network to kind of see what I'm up to, I think.
Right.
So I don't accept them because like they're peers or competitors. So why would I want to connect with them? I'm just really focusing on good quality people. If their profile doesn't have a picture or I can tell they're going to pitch me something, I don't accept it. So I probably accept 10% of the invitations I get now.
Wow. I remember hearing that from you a year ago, and I wasn't getting that many invitations. And I thought, geez, he's so lucky. And I get a lot more invitations now. And I'm thinking, geez, what a pain in the neck this is.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you. I appreciate your insight. As a recap for people who are thinking, maybe watching this today, stop watching the video when it's over. And as long as you're on LinkedIn or Facebook, get off of Facebook, go to LinkedIn. If you're already on LinkedIn, congratulations. And so you're offering a couple of thoughts here just from other things you said. Make sure your profile picture is up to date. Make sure your profile in its entirety is up to date and conversational. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, just reach out to a few people they actually know and just check in on them right now and just start a little, back on the radar kind of conversation. Oh yeah, let's catch up sometime.
Right. Because this is a perfect time. In the regular world, if you send people a note going, hey, just checking in, unless it's really genuine, it doesn't come across as slightest big.
They reach out to me like total strangers. Hey, how are things going? Let's connect. I hope you're okay and your family's safe. Like, how do you know I have a family? We're not even connected yet.
Right. Or worse, what if you send a stupid message like that to somebody who just posted about the death of a loved one?
Right.
So the world of LinkedIn is full of people that we already know, customers that we've already served, people we've already done business with, people that already know, like, and trust us. And perhaps instead of chasing down complete strangers who are of no value, we reconnect with those people.
It's the fastest way to get back.
Put words in your mouth, but I have a habit of doing that. Is that fair enough?
It's so much easier to do business with people that know, like, and trust you already.
Yeah.
So why go out and try to build trust with other people? Do that later, but right now, to get your business back on track, go to who already paid you money.
Right. And who you've already paid money to. My grandfather used to say, you mow your own backyard first.
Right.
I'm not really sure of the analogy. He was big on the metaphors, my grandfather. Anyway, Ted Prodromou, thank you very much. I appreciate these insights. A fresh look at LinkedIn is always good. There's always new people coming to LinkedIn. There's tons more traffic today than there was last week, than there was last month.
Right.
And with a little connection, a little community, a little building a friendship on LinkedIn, we can do this.
Yes, we can.